You don't need to cut off friends. You just need to put some boundaries in place. Sometimes it's not the environment, sometimes it's not the friends. Sometimes it's the amount of access that you give to people that leads you to be hurt more than you should be. And when you look at the word boundaries, it's all about limits, it's all about a dividing line, it's all about separation. And I think a lot of times we are scared about boundaries because we are scared of that separation. We are scared of that dividing line. We are scared that we won't be able to have intimacy with people and deep relationship with people, and that we may be even rejected because we're putting boundaries in place. Now, what is a boundary? A boundary is when you can say yes, but you decide to say no. A boundary is when you decide what can have access to you, who can have access to you spiritually, mentally, physically. It's a decision and it's very intentional and it comes with self awareness. And it is so important because if you don't have boundaries, what you're basically saying is everything and everyone can have access to my territory. And let me tell you something. As much as I'm someone that wants to see the world in an amazing way, and I'm sure that people can really achieve their full potential and can be positive and amazing people, there's gonna be people that will take the absence of boundaries to take advantage of you, like it or not. And I think it's very important that we understand that because not everyone should have the same access to you. You giving access to everyone doesn't mean that you're a nice person. It generally means that you're putting yourself at risk. It is very risky to not have boundaries. It is very risky to not put things in to make sure that you're protected. And this is not something that someone can put on you. And I think a lot of times the reason why we don't know how to put boundaries and have boundaries is because we grew up seeing our parents maybe protecting us in a lot of situations and, telling us, oh, don't do this, don't do that. And we don't learn that sometimes the reason why they tell us to not maybe even have such a close relationship with certain people is because they're telling us create a boundaries. They're not telling us cut them off, but they're saying create a boundaries to make sure that they raise respect and to make sure that there is indeed a healthy relationship. Because having boundaries is a decision, you need to know why you need boundaries. Boundaries is not about you being selfish or individualistic or I'm going to have boundaries so I can just be me and by myself, right? But it's about you creating healthy relationship with people. Valentine is coming and we all love. I hope so at least. And we see all of these pictures and see all of these relationships and we're thinking, oh, I need to feel butterflies and I know this is the right person and this will just be beautiful and I will live with the best life. But we fail to realize the importance of making sure to have boundaries, to have healthy relationship romantically or even normal friendships. You can't have relationship with people and not know what type of access they can have to you and how much access they can have to you. Every single friend that you have, you should know how far they can go and how far they can't go. I found us myself a lot of times putting like literally calling my friends because I don't like holding grudges personally, and I hope you don't too. But like I'll just call them and be like, I didn't like what you did that. I didn't like how you shouted at me. Oh, I don't like how when you speak to me like that. And it is harsh conversations and people have had conversation with me as well. They are hard conversations, but they are needed because that's the way that you can have boundaries with people. And I think as well as a woman, sometimes we are scared to have those hard conversations and we are scared to have those boundaries because we're scared to be alone. As I said before, the word boundaries means separation, dividing line, and we are scared to be rejected because basically we are telling someone you need to step back. And we are scared that maybe that person won't be able to love us the same way that they love us because of that boundary. But the thing is, if you find yourself with people that find your boundaries disrespectful, very dangerous. No one should be debating what type of access you give to them. Because my question is, why do you want to have so much access to me? Why? What is your reason? Personally, I don't think it's normal. And someone that argues with you about the amount of access that they have with you, it makes me question, why do you want to work so much on my boundaries? You don't respect me. Because when you respect people, you respect the access that they give to you. Now you can act accordingly. You can choose, because this person doesn't give me that amount of access, I'm going to step back. That is perfectly fine. And as a person that you're setting the boundary, that's a consequence of it. You need to realize that when you put a boundary down, there will be people that will step back. There will be people that will leave. They'll be like, I can't be your friend. And that's okay. Because what boundaries does, it actually reveals who actually loves you. It actually reveals who actually respects you for who you are. Because if someone tells me, when you step on that boundary, you hurt me, why should I feel like I have that entitlement of, no, I wanna know this though. I wanna have as much information about this though. When the person has said that when this happens, they are not happy, it hurts them. And I think it's very important that as a society we talk about that, because I feel like we're getting sensitive. We're getting sensitive, and we're getting to a point where people can have healthy relationships because they can't communicate what is their boundaries. They're scared to offend people and they're scared of being rejected. When people get offended by your boundaries, they were never meant to be close people to you. They were never meant to be your friends. I am sorry to say that. I have to be real. And I think, because when someone tells me, I didn't like the way you speak to me, or I didn't like the way you talked to me last time, or I didn't like the way you shouted at me, maybe you raised your voice at me, it hurts me. You know why it hurts me? Because I'm like, oh, I've hurted someone. Now I need to step back to make sure that there is a boundary and we have a healthy relationship. It doesn't hurt me because, oh, this has hurt in my ego, and now I can't be doing that. I can't be doing that with her anymore. I'm gonna cut her off. No, the boundaries should come from a place of, I want to create a healthy relationship with you, rather than, oh, I want to be selfish. Think it is very important that we go back in the importance of commitment, in the importance of understanding and respecting each other through healthy relationships. And that is done with boundaries. Now, people will be offended by it. That's okay. People will not like you because of that. People will even say that you're doing too much. As a woman, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one, but have you ever been in a situation where you meet someone and this person tells you that you're doing too much? Who do you think you are? Yeah, you'll be gaslighted for having boundaries. Apparently, you're doing too much if you have boundaries. No, do too much. When you understand how worthy you are, you put boundaries to protect yourself mentally, emotionally, physically. That is not an option. And how do you understand what type of boundaries to put in place? Self-awareness. Understand how things impact you emotionally, physically, spiritually. And don't come from a place of pain. Don't Boundaries is not a coping mechanism, and is the way that you cut off the bad people from your life. And you generally create a healthy territory. So when you're looking for your close friends, you have a good environment, you have good people around you that know how to communicate with you, that know how to speak with you, that know how to encourage you. That is what the result of boundaries. But boundaries will come with isolation. There will be a time where you will not have friends. There'll be at times where you're looking around and say, hey, should I just, should I just you ask yourself, like, should I just remove these boundaries and be like everyone else? But you can't be like everyone else. So it is challenging. It is hard. It is hard, but it is worthy. Because remember what I've said last episode, foundation. You want to create a strong foundation for the type of life that you want to do. So you will see things and you'll be like, wow, those things, I can do them. So the Bible even said everything's permissible, but not everything is good. There'll be a lot of times that you find yourself in positions where you can do everything, but not everything is good for you. And this is what boundaries does. It makes sure that you understand what is good for you. It gives you direction. You need boundaries to make sure that you're walking in the direction that you want to go into. You want to get into a healthy relationship. You can't get into a healthy relationship if you don't have boundaries in place. Because how would you be able to recognize red flags when you're in your feelings? You won't be able to. So you need boundaries to make sure that even when you're in your feelings and you're a bit like, you're not really seeing straight. You know, you get what I mean? You're not seeing straight. That the boundary will tell you, yo, you're getting off. Remember your boundary, and then you be like, okay, actually, I don't allow this stuff. I'm out. I'm out. Friendship wise, how can you make sure that you have good friendships if you don't have boundaries? Someone can gossip with you. Why can't they gossip with you? What type of access you're giving to them that they can speak bad about other people? It creates a standard. It is hard, it is challenging. And sometimes you're wrong. The fact that you have boundaries doesn't mean that you will not be betrayed or that people will not try to step on it. But everything will be a lesson to help you understand how you can adjust boundaries. Rather than giving full access to people and then at the end realizing actually these people don't respect me. But if you have a boundary, at least if something goes bad, you can learn from it and you can learn and understand, oh, how can I adjust these boundaries to make them better? It's better to start from somewhere than from nothing. But remember, boundaries is not a coping mechanism. It is a way to make sure that you have healthy relationship with people. Doesn't mean that you need to be friends with everyone, but it means that you can create a space where you can be respectful to everyone and with everyone. You understand that it will have consequences, but do not be so afraid of rejection. Do not be so afraid of being lonely that you pull your boundaries down and don't actually walk with the worth that you carry and that you have. But yeah, this is your host, Gabby. Thank you so much for listening to the Real One podcast, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Ciao, ciao.